"This isn't the end," he said quietly. "It's the first chapter." Mira nodded. "And humanity," she whispered, "is finally waking up." Dr. Ryan Blackwood thought nothing in the galaxy could shock him anymore. After 12 years as a xenobiologist, he had examined creatures that made no logical sense. Singing plants, gas beings made of glowing mist, even a rock species that hit themselves with hammers to reproduce. He believed he had seen it all. But today, inside the silent research lab of Station Alpha 9, Ryan felt his breath stop. On the metal-skinned bed lay an alien woman who called herself Mira. Her skin was smooth and bright crimson, glowing under the white lab lights. Her hair was long, silver, and flowed across the table like liquid metal. She wore only the standard white medical outfit, her body almost human. Almost. Ryan stared at the holographic display floating above her. What is this?" he whispered. Mira raised one eyebrow, calm as ever. "Is something wrong, doctor?" But Ryan could not answer. The scan showed her reproductive system, and it was moving. Not pulsing, not reacting, moving. A cluster of long, thin tentacles twisted and curled like an octopus trapped inside her body. Some were muscular. Others were made of neural tissue, almost like nerves turned into limbs. And they were moving on their own, with purpose, as if they had a mind. Ryan adjusted the scanner with shaking hands. "These tentacles, they have their own brain," he muttered. "They're not controlled by you." Mira remained relaxed, her golden eyes watching him closely. "Yes, that is normal for my kind." Normal? Nothing about this was normal. Ryan zoomed in again. One of the tentacles shifted, slowly turning toward the scanner. Then another, and another. It felt like they were looking at him. Heat rose in Ryan's chest. He stepped back without meaning to. "You seem disturbed," Mira said softly. "Is my anatomy so strange to you?" Ryan tried to think, tried to breathe. Strange isn't the word. Revolutionary, terrifying, amazing, all at once. Mira smiled, slow and thoughtful. Her teeth were a little too sharp to be human. "Your people fear what they do not understand." Her words made Ryan pause. A small chill moved through him. He looked around the lab. They were alone. His team had already gone home. Security was 2 floors away. Something felt wrong. Very wrong. Ryan swallowed. "You said you came for a simple medical checkup. But this isn't simple at all. Why did you really come here, Mira?" She tilted her head. "Tell me, Dr. Blackwood, did you truly think I came only to be examined?" Before Ryan could answer, the lab door slid open. Dr. Elias Chamberlain stepped inside, holding a datapad. "Ryan, I need the preliminary." He stopped. His eyes locked on the hologram showing the twisting tentacles. What is that?" Before Ryan could speak, the lights flickered. Once. Twice. Then the entire station went black. An alarm boomed through the darkness. The floor trembled. Chamberlain shouted for the emergency lights, but nothing came on. Ryan felt his heart freeze. Something was happening. Something big. And Mira, somewhere in the dark, whispered, "Doctor, this is only the beginning." The blackout lasted only 3 seconds, but in those 3 seconds, Ryan felt something brush against his arm. Warm, soft, alive. When the emergency lights finally flickered on, the room glowed red like a warning beacon. Mira was gone. Dr. Chamberlain spun around in panic. "Where is she?" "Ryan, where did she go?" I don't know," Ryan said. But even as he spoke, a sharp pain shot through his wrist. He hissed and pulled up his sleeve. His skin was changing. A small patch near his wrist had turned crimson, shimmering faintly like Mira's skin. It pulsed with light, his heartbeat glowing under it like a fire behind thin glass. "What did she do to me?" he whispered. Before he could think, a voice echoed inside his mind. "Ryan, stay calm." Ryan stumbled backward, eyes wide. "Mira, are you talking inside my head?" "Yes. I'm sorry for this." There was no time. Her voice was clear, soft, and somehow inside his thoughts without echo or sound. "I placed a communication node in your skin. It lets us connect, mind to mind." Ryan grabbed the edge of the table for support. "You could have asked before putting alien tech in my arm. You would have said no." "Of course I would have said no." "Exactly. And I needed someone who would listen before they capture me." Ryan froze. "Capture you? Who's coming?" "Your military. They detected my ship when it entered your orbit." That blackout wasn't an accident. It was a containment protocol. Ryan felt the blood drain from his face. The Terran Defense Force never acted unless they sensed a threat. Mira, are you dangerous? Not to you. Not to anyone. But humans fear what they cannot control. If they find me, they will lock me away. Study me. Dissect me. Her voice trembled for the first time. A flicker of fear slid into Ryan's chest through the link. She wasn't lying. She was afraid. He exhaled slowly. Where are you now? A soft pull tugged at his wrist, like warmth traveling under his skin. Follow the signal. I'm hiding in the maintenance shafts below level 4. Hurry. Chamberlain was still pacing the lab, trying to contact security. Ryan stepped toward the door. Ryan, Chamberlain shouted. Where do you think you're going? Ryan forced a steady voice. To check the power conduits. Maybe the blackout started there. Before Chamberlain could question him further, Ryan slipped out and disappeared into the hallway. The corridors were chaos. Red warning lights flashed. Engineers ran toward the reactor sectors. Security teams rushed the opposite direction toward the docking bays. No one paid attention to a single scientist moving calmly through the mess. The note on Ryan's wrist warmed again, guiding him. Left, down the ladder, into the maintenance tunnel. Ryan crawled through the narrow space, feeling the station rumble above him. Every few meters the light inside his skin pulsed. Closer, closer. Ryan stopped. Mira's voice came quietly. He froze. Ahead of him, 2 armed security officers marched past the cross corridor. Their armor reflected the red emergency lights. Their rifles were powered on. Sector 4 sweep clear. No visual on the target. Target. Not guest. Not visitor. Target. Ryan swallowed. Once the guards left, he continued forward until he reached a small hatch. Sitting beside it, half hidden in the dim light, was Mira. She wore a black bodysuit now, her silver hair tied back, her golden eyes glowing faintly. You came, she said softly. Ryan glared. You put alien tech in my arm. You left the lab in the dark. You're telepathically talking to me. What choice did I have? A small smile pulled at her lips. You had a choice. And you chose to help me. Ryan opened the hatch. Don't make me regret it. Mira stepped close, too close, and rested her hand lightly over his wrist, where the node pulsed like a second heartbeat. Thank you, Ryan. Her voice echoed again inside his mind. And before he could respond, the station alarm boomed louder than before. All security teams, the target is moving. Contain at all costs. Mira's eyes widened. They found my ship, she whispered. Ryan felt his stomach drop. This was no longer a simple exam. This was a chase. A hunt. And he was now part of it. The alarm continued to echo through the metal corridors, shaking dust loose from overhead pipes. Ryan felt each warning blast vibrate inside his chest. Mira moved quickly beside him, her steps silent and controlled, like she had walked these tunnels 1,000 times. Where are we going? Ryan whispered. To my ship, Mira replied. It's hidden inside a blocked maintenance bay. Humans rarely check it. Great, Ryan muttered. We're running from armed soldiers toward a secret alien ship. What could go wrong? Mira glanced back at him with a faint smile. Many things. So walk faster. A narrow escape. They reached a vertical shaft and climbed down a long ladder. The red lights flickered as power surged again. Somewhere above, metal doors slammed shut, lockdown barriers sealing entire corridors. Through the telepathic link, Ryan felt a wave of urgency from Mira. They're cutting off exit points. We must hurry. Just then, the clanging footsteps of soldiers echoed from a side passage. Ryan froze. Mira touched his arm and pulled him behind a stack of large metal crates. The footsteps grew louder, then stopped right beside them. Bay 12 is empty, one soldier said. Sweep the next section. Their wrist scanners hummed softly. Ryan held his breath. The node in his wrist felt hot, like it was trying to muffle his heartbeat. He didn't know whether that was comforting or terrifying. After a long moment, the footsteps faded. Mira exhaled. Close call. Come. The hidden door. They reached a dead-end hallway with a rusted seal on the wall reading. Maintenance Bay 3C, closed for repairs. Ryan frowned. This place looks abandoned. That is the point. Mira placed her palm on the metal. At first, nothing happened. Then the wall rippled, as if waking up from sleep. The rust faded. The metal changed color. A seam appeared where there was none before. The wall slid open like a living thing pulling itself aside. Ryan stepped back. That is not normal. Human doors are boring, Mira replied casually. Come in. The ship. The room inside was much darker than the halls outside. A long curved object rested at the center, hovering slightly above a cradle of organic-looking roots. The ship was unlike anything Ryan had studied. Its surface wasn't metal. It was smooth, flexible, and glistened like the skin of a deep-sea creature. Gentle pulses of blue biolight traveled across its hull. "Is it alive?" Ryan whispered. "In a way," Mira said. "It is grown, not built." Ryan walked around it, stunned. The vessel stretched about 10 meters long, shaped like a sleek stingray with flowing edges and no visible engines. Mira pressed her palm again to the hull. A circular entrance opened like an iris dilating. "After you," she said. Ryan swallowed hard. "This feels like I'm walking into the stomach of a giant creature." "Do not worry, it does not eat humans." Comforting. Inside the vessel, the interior was even stranger. No metal, no sharp edges. Everything was soft curves, warm colors, and surfaces that shifted gently as if breathing. Thin, glowing veins of light pulsed along the walls like nerves carrying information. Ryan touched one wall. It felt warm, almost like skin. Mira noticed his expression. "The ship responds to emotional fields. It's calm because we are calm." "I'm not calm," Ryan said. "It is trying to help you be calm." "That's even creepier." Mira smiled. "You get used to it." The truth slips out. She moved to the front of the vessel, placing her hand on what looked like a smooth, rounded console. "Before we launch," Ryan said, "I need to understand something. Why did you really come to our station? What was your mission?" Mira paused. Through the link, Ryan felt her hesitation, like she was choosing her words carefully. "I came to study human biology," she said. "But not as your people do. Not by force. My species studies life through connection, not through destruction." "That doesn't explain the tentacles," Ryan said quietly. "Or why your system moved when it saw me." Mira's golden eyes glowed softly. "Because it was curious." "Curious about me?" "About humanity," she corrected. "Your people are unpredictable, dangerous, beautiful, and you evolve faster than most species we've observed." Ryan's heartbeat quickened. "Observed? For how long?" Before she could answer, the ship gave a sudden shudder. A deep alarm boomed from outside the bay. "Breach detected in Maintenance Bay 3C. Squad Alpha, move in." Mira's eyes widened. "They found us." The ship's inner lights brightened. "Hold on," she said quickly. "We're leaving right now." Ryan grabbed the nearest surface as the living vessel closed around them. The escape was no longer optional. It was survival. The living ship shot out of the maintenance bay just seconds before armored soldiers stormed in. Ryan pressed against the organic wall as the vessel twisted through the station's outer tunnels, moving with the smooth grace of a deep-sea creature escaping a net. "Hold on," Mira warned. The ship curved sharply and dove into open space. Station Alpha 9 became a shrinking metal ring behind them, its alarms flashing like angry red stars. Ryan stared out the ship's rounded viewport, struggling to breathe. "We just escaped from an entire station," he whispered. Mira didn't look away from the glowing controls. "Yes, and if they catch us, they will not give us a second chance." Journey through the dark. For 3 long days, the ship drifted through silent space. Ryan slept in a small resting pod, ate strange nutrient cubes that tasted better than they looked, and tried to understand the telepathic heartbeat linking him to Mira. Sometimes he felt her curiosity, sometimes her fear, sometimes a warm, quiet affection that made him blush when she wasn't even looking at him. But he didn't ask about it. Not yet. On the 3rd day, Mira stood beside him at the viewport. "We're here." Ryan's eyes widened. Ahead of them floated a massive structure, so large it dwarfed the ship 5 times over. It looked less like a spaceship and more like a glowing coral reef drifting through space, pulsing with soft bioluminescence. "What is that?" Ryan whispered. "The Nexus," Mira said. "Our main research vessel. It looks alive. In some ways, it is. Not alone." As the living ship docked, the entrance opened like a flower unfurling. Warm light spilled inside. Ryan followed Mira through the airlock and froze. Humans. At least 24 walked casually through the hallway, wearing simple uniforms or lab coats. Some carried datapads. Others laughed as they talked with red-skinned Nari researchers. "What? How? Why are there humans here?" Ryan asked. A tall man with gray hair and sharp eyes approached them with a welcoming smile. You must be Dr. Blackwood, he said, shaking Ryan's hand firmly. I'm Dr. Thomas Harrington, Xenobiology Division. Welcome to the most advanced research facility humanity ever joined, unofficially. Joined, Ryan echoed. Nobody told Earth anything about this. Thomas sighed. For now, the Nari reach out only to individuals who show open minds and scientific value. Most of us came the same way you did, unexpectedly. Ryan stared. You mean kidnapped? No. Thomas corrected gently. Invited. Some of us chose to stay. Some even chose enhancements. Ryan blinked. Enhancements? As they walked deeper inside the Nexus, Ryan noticed small differences among the humans. One had faint silver lines on her skin like branching roots. Another's eyes had a gold shimmer like a Nari's. One man moved with unnatural precision, as if his reflexes were boosted. Ryan's stomach tightened. What did they do to you? He whispered to Thomas. Thomas smiled calmly. Only what we requested. Every modification is voluntary. Purists versus integrationists. Mira guided Ryan into a large atrium filled with floating light orbs and softly moving plants. This is where both humans and Nari work together, she explained. Ryan saw groups of scientists, some fully human, some partly modified, discussing data. But the room wasn't peaceful. There was tension, quiet but real. Thomas lowered his voice. There are two groups among us. Purists, who believe humans should remain biologically unchanged, and integrationists, who think Nari enhancements unlock our full potential. Ryan felt eyes on him. Some curious, some cautious, some excited. One woman with faint red markings and glowing eyes smiled at him. A new mind for the network. Fresh perspectives. Ryan stepped back. I'm not joining any network. Mira touched his arm gently. No one expects you to. You choose your path here. Her words calmed him, but only a little. A private moment. Later, she led him to a circular room with smooth walls that shifted with soft colors. His quarters. He stepped inside slowly. So, other humans have been here for years. Yes, Mira answered. Studying, learning, living. Ryan sat on the soft, living bed, head spinning. Why didn't you warn me? Would it have changed anything? She asked softly. Ryan wasn't sure. Maybe, maybe not. But she wasn't done. You are important, Ryan. Not because of your biology, but because of your mind. You see what others miss. Ryan looked at the glowing patterns across the room, then at her golden eyes. Everything inside him twisted with fear and curiosity. What exactly do you want from me? He whispered. Mira stepped closer, close enough that the link between them pulsed like shared warmth. Understanding, she said gently. And perhaps, connection. As Ryan met her gaze, the door closed softly behind them. And the Nexus, the most secret place in the galaxy, waited to see what kind of human he would become. Ryan spent the next few days wandering the halls of the Nexus like a man stuck between two worlds. Everywhere he turned, he saw something that rewrote science as he knew it. Floating plants that responded to emotion. Walls that shifted color when someone spoke. Rooms that changed shape depending on who walked inside. But none of it compared to the discovery waiting for him in the research labs. A new mystery. Thomas guided Ryan to a large organic console glowing with warm blue light. This is the Nari's neural mapping chamber, he explained. We use it to study the deep mind patterns of different species. Ryan glanced at the floating holograms around the chamber. Webs of glowing lines, shapes like tangled roots, clusters of shifting lights. Mira appeared beside him. Today, we map something new, your mind. Ryan blinked. Mine? What? Mira placed her hand over the console. The room dimmed, and a soft sphere of light floated up. Because humans, she said gently, hold something special inside their brains. Something almost asleep. Something we don't fully understand. Ryan frowned. Are you saying humans have hidden features? Mira nodded. Yes. Dormant pathways. Connections that do not activate on their own. Ryan's pulse quickened. Dormant, like in used neural circuits? Thomas stepped forward. Exactly. In fact, your brain has structures that look similar to the Nari's emotional communication network. Ryan's mouth fell open. You're joking. We never joke about science, Mira said seriously. The revelation. They placed a soft bio crown around Ryan's head. It wasn't like metal. The material felt warm, like a gentle hand resting on his scalp. Relax, Mira whispered. The device reads your pathways but does not change them. The crown pulsed. Ryan gasped. He suddenly felt things, sensations he didn't have words for. Small sparks, weak pulses, dim connections stretching across parts of his brain he never used. Mira's voice cut through the haze. Do you feel it? Ryan nodded slowly. It's like old wires turning back on. This is what makes your species incredible, Thomas said. You evolve fast. You adapt faster. And humans, Mira added, may one day activate these pathways on their own. But right now they sleep. Why would humans have these pathways at all? Ryan asked. For the first time, Mira hesitated. Because someone or something placed them there long ago. Ryan stiffened. Placed? You mean engineered? Mira didn't deny it. The amplifier. Ryan stepped away from the console. If these pathways are dormant, can we wake them? That is what we hope to try, Thomas said, handing him a small, silver band. This is the neural resonance amplifier. It stimulates the sleeping pathways just enough to study them safely. Ryan examined the device. It looked harmless. Who tested it before, he asked. Silence. Mira looked away. No one. Ryan stared at her. You want me to be the first? You are the only one with the connection node, she said quietly. The implant amplifies compatibility. It gives you a better chance. Ryan felt a chill. This wasn't just science. This was something deeper. Something dangerous. Something personal. The decision. Do you trust us? Mira asked. Through the telepathic link, Ryan felt her honesty mixed with fear. Not fear of him. Fear for him. He took a slow breath. I trust my own choices, he said finally. And I choose to do this. Mira's eyes softened. Then we will do it together. Ryan placed the amplifier on his head. The biofilaments wrapped around him like threads of warm air. Thomas activated the device. Light bloomed across Ryan's vision. His mind opened. He felt a rush, like unseen doors unlocking inside his head. Colors brightened. Sounds sharpened. He could feel every heartbeat in the room, including Mira's. Her emotions flowed into him. Calmness, curiosity, a quiet warmth she tried to hide. Then, a sudden, powerful wave shot through him. Images, shapes, voices, and a network, vast and ancient, stretching across space and memory. Ryan gasped. Mira, I can feel them. Not just you. Others. Many others. Mira stepped forward, eyes wide with shock. You activated it, she whispered. On the first try. Ryan looked at his hands, trembling. What is this network, he asked. Mira swallowed. The truth, she said softly. The truth we did not expect you to find so soon. Ryan felt the neural resonance amplifier cool against his temples, but his mind was burning with new awareness. Threads of invisible energy hummed through him, carrying whispers he didn't understand, voices too far, too old, too layered. He blinked hard, breathing fast. What did I just connect to? Mira stepped closer, her golden eyes uneasy. A network older than your world. Older than mine. Something my people have spent centuries studying. Ryan shook his head. No, this wasn't just studying. This felt like being pulled into an ocean of minds. Thomas exchanged a tense look with Mira. He accessed higher levels faster than we expected. Ryan pointed at them, anger rising. Stop speaking like I'm a lab animal. Tell me the truth. The hidden history. Mira exhaled slowly, the bond between them vibrating with tension. Thousands of years ago, she began, the Nari discovered many species across the galaxy with the same dormant neural pathways you have. Pathways no natural evolution should produce. Meaning what? Ryan asked sharply. They were planted, Mira said, guided into existence. Ryan felt his chest tighten. Are you saying humans were engineered? Mira hesitated. Not created, not controlled, but helped, encouraged, given a foundation for something greater. Ryan stared, stunned. By who? Mira lowered her voice. We call them the Weavers, a race that existed long before us. They shaped minds across the galaxy, laying seeds of connection inside many species. And humans have those seeds, Ryan whispered. Yes. Ryan ran a hand through his hair. And your people? Why do you care about these seeds? Thomas stepped forward. Because some species are starting to activate them. A few by accident. A few with help. Humanity is closer than anyone expected. Ryan's voice was barely a whisper. You wanted to see how far along we really are. Mira nodded quietly. And you, Ryan, You awaken more pathways in minutes than most species do in decades. The divide deepens. Stunned, Ryan sat on the edge of the organic console. The world felt too large, too bright, too heavy. The amplifier had changed him, but not physically. It widened his awareness, and the node in his wrist pulsed like a heartbeat that wasn't entirely his. So this is why integrationists change themselves, he murmured. To reach this connection faster. Thomas nodded. Some believe merging Nari and human biology unlocks the path sooner. Ryan shook his head. That's not evolution. That's cheating. But purists think the same, Thomas said. They believe humans should activate naturally, if at all. And you? Ryan asked. Thomas smiled faintly. I think you're proof that humans don't need modifications. They only need the right spark. Mira stepped closer, lowering her voice. The real question, Ryan, is what you want. A private confrontation. Later, in her quarters, Mira sat beside him on the living bed. Soft lights pulsed in rhythm with both their heartbeats. Ryan's voice was tight. Why didn't you tell me humans were part of some ancient plan? Mira looked away. Because I did not want you to feel like you were made for someone else's design. But we were, Ryan insisted. Every human, every thought, every instinct, touched by something before we even existed. Mira met his gaze. But the Weavers are gone. Their work is incomplete. What humanity becomes now is your choice. Ryan frowned. Then what does the Nari want from us? Mira hesitated, then touched the node on his wrist. Warmth spread through him, her emotions flowing into his mind. We want connection, she whispered. We want to understand you. And more than that, we want to offer guidance, not control. But Earth won't accept this easily, Ryan said. No, Mira agreed. Your people fear manipulation. They fear losing what makes you human. Ryan nodded slowly. And they're right. If this goes wrong, we start a war instead of a partnership. Mira reached out, her fingers brushing his. Then we need someone who understands both worlds. Ryan looked at her, really looked. You want me to be that person? He said quietly. Yes, Mira whispered. And if I say no? The bond pulsed with pain, fear, and something deeper. You won't, she said softly. Because you already see what your people must learn. Humanity is strong, but connection makes you stronger. The turning point. Ryan stood, pacing the room. He had choices now. Stay silent. Reject everything. Run away. Hide. Or face Earth with the truth. Mira, he said finally, if I do this, I need full honesty. No more secrets. Her eyes softened. Then I swear, you will know everything. And Earth gets to choose its own path, Ryan continued. No manipulation. No hidden guidance. Yes, she said. On your terms. Ryan took a long breath. Then I'll do it. Mira's heart surged through the bond. A bright, warm burst that filled him with something close to joy. Ryan, she whispered, stepping closer. You do not know how important this is. He swallowed. I'm starting to understand. The choice was made, but the consequences were only beginning. Ryan stood at the center of the Nexus's vast council chamber, a place where the air itself seemed to hum with ancient knowledge. Soft lights drifted above him like floating stars. The room felt alive, listening. 7 Nari elders, skin dark red and hair silver like starlight, sat in a wide circle. Mira stood beside Ryan, her posture proud but tense. Ryan's heartbeat echoed in his ears. This was it. The moment everything led to. One elder leaned forward. Dr. Blackwood, have you made your decision? Ryan looked up. His voice steady, simple. Yes. A ripple of light passed across the chamber, as if the room itself reacted. I will return to Earth, Ryan said, and I will tell humanity the truth. The elders exchanged glances, interest, caution, curiosity. But, Ryan continued firmly, humans must have a choice. No one should be pushed into activating these pathways. No hidden influence. No secret guidance. The eldest Nari closed her eyes for a long moment. Then she nodded. Very well, she said. You will go home as the first bridge between our species. Ryan felt relief wash over him, followed by fear. He wasn't just going home. He was carrying a message that could change human history forever. Preparing for Earth. Back in his quarters, Ryan packed his few belongings, a tablet, notes, and the neural resonance amplifier. Mira watched him quietly. You're afraid, she said gently. Ryan sighed. Earth doesn't react well to surprises. And this isn't a small surprise, Mira. It's everything. She stepped closer. Humans fear the unknown, but they also rise when the moment demands it. Ryan almost smiled. You make us sound heroic. You are, she said softly. Your species keeps choosing hope over despair. Even when everything seems impossible. The bond between them thrummed quietly, warm, steady. Come with me, Ryan whispered suddenly. Earth needs someone who understands both sides. Mira blinked, surprised. You want me beside you? Not just want, Ryan said, voice low. I need you there. Her eyes softened. Then I will stand with you. The return. 3 days later, their shuttle descended through Earth's atmosphere, flames licking the edges of the vessel. Ryan stared out the window at the blue oceans and white clouds he once took for granted. Home looked smaller now, but also more precious. They landed inside a secure underground facility beneath the Rocky Mountains. Guards surrounded the landing pad, weapons lowered but ready. Ryan stepped out first. Mira followed. Gasps rippled through the room. Scientists, leaders, generals, all staring at the crimson-skinned alien with silver hair and golden eyes. Ryan raised his hands. Please let me speak. He stood behind the podium. Screens lit up. Cameras rolled. Representatives from every major nation watched. Ryan began slowly, clearly, using the simplest words possible. There is something humanity must know. Something that will change how we see ourselves. He showed them the neural scans. The dormant pathways. The first moment they awakened in his mind. He explained the weavers. The ancient network. The Nari's long study of life. And then, the part that mattered most. No one owns us, Ryan said firmly. No one controls us. The truth is not a chain, it's a choice. People whispered. Some afraid. Some fascinated. Ryan continued. The Nari offer us understanding, not domination. They offer the neural resonance amplifier, not forced evolution. Every human will decide for themselves whether to activate their dormant pathways. He placed the silver band on the podium. This device doesn't turn you into something else, he said. It shows you who you could become someday. If you choose it. Silence fell. Then Mira stepped forward and spoke gently. Connection is not meant to erase your humanity. It is meant to strengthen it. The room shifted. People listened. Maybe for the first time. A new beginning. Hours later, after endless questions, debates, and cautious acceptance, Ryan and Mira stepped onto a balcony overlooking the night sky. Lights from cities twinkled far below. Mira leaned against him. Do you think your people will accept us? Ryan looked at Earth, then at her. Eventually, he said, humans fight everything at first. Fear is our instinct. But so is growth. Mira smiled softly. And you? Will you accept the path ahead? Ryan slipped his hand into hers. With you? Yes. The bond pulsed between them, warm, bright, alive. Above them, stars stretched across the darkness. Not distant anymore. Not unreachable. The future waited. Ryan took a deep breath.